Tim, Chopperhead Clubhouse with Raquell, Queen of Bell.
Baby girl looking so seductive, at the same time fine, meaning she's coming with me. Black label denim, true religion, and risk free. She want a rock star with big cars and big cheese. 6-inch heels looking correct, cherry red lipstick, a kiss tat on her neck. Don't mean to be totally rude, but do you want to rock like you say?
She's a BillBond person.
Person is good. That's
Okay.
good. I'm okay.
Okay. And how did we come across each other?
We were introduced by a photographer,
Right. He's not here.
a kind of mutual acquaintance.
Yeah. So Raquell does bail bonds. And how long have you been doing it?
10 years. This is my 10-year mark.
And it's people are getting in trouble. People are fucked up.
People consistently get in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, there's two different types of people that I work with. Some are career criminals, and some are just that one time, bad decision, that one floating Vicodin at the bottom of their purse, or that one little issue of coke. Who was that got arrested last night from the Kings in Vegas?
Oh, really?
He had a little issue of coke. He's not hurting anybody. Obviously, he's not robbing houses to maintain his habit, but it happens. People get in trouble.
So how does it normally work with your drug bust or whatever? Like, run somebody through, God forbid it's not going to happen to you, but if it does, this is how it's going to go down. Like you're driving down the street.
You get pulled over for you don't have the light over your license plate frame. You get pulled over. They ask you for your ID. Just so happens you have a warrant out of Newport Beach or something, a traffic warrant. So then they have probable cause to, shake you down. And then you've got one Vicodin, one Xanax. Without the prescription bottle, you're done. So when you get arrested, you get one free phone call. And that whoever you call, just if you tell them Raquell, Queen of Bail, they can Google me and they'll find me with any mixture of the names. Queen of Bail, Queen Bail Bonds, Raquell Bail Bonds, all of it, I come up. And then you call me and then we work it out, and it's relatively easy, and your only obligation is to go to court. All you have to do is go to court.
And the bail amount you have to come up with is like 10% of the bond? Or?
It should be, it should be about 10%.
So if your bail is 10 G, you need to come up with that?
Yeah.
Okay. And
not everybody has a G laying around.
Right,
but,
right.
If you're gonna play, you gotta be ready. You gotta stay ready.
So, is it stressful work?
It can be. It can be stressful depending on the clients. When I get, a friend, then it's not stressful. But when I get somebody that's, a gang member and they've got an attitude and they're dealing with a woman, it can be very stressful.
Okay.
Very stressful.
Well, getting into being a woman in the bail bonds world, how many women are in the profession?
I don't know. I really make a specific point to not look over my shoulder as to who's doing what or keeping up in the bail bonds Joneses. But I know that there's not very many compared to men at all.
And, they obviously know that you're female because that's what they call it, because it's called Raquell.
Raquell, yeah.
So that's up front. But has there been do you find it to be difficult because you're a woman? Or?
Sometimes it has been. I mean, I've had people try to punk me in my own office, where I just have to roll my eyes and, kind of breathe in and out and go.
So who showed you the ropes to get into the business?
I learned from a couple of old timers that I'm forever grateful to. I learned the old school way. I learned all of the, idiosyncrasies and specifics of the trade, things that you need to ask your clients. It's not just really the paperwork. It's more, you have to go by your gut, really. Because, anybody who wants to get out of jail, they'll tell you whatever you want to hear. Right? I'll give you my firstborn child. This Rolex is yours. You've got my car. Just get me out of jail. So it's not really about what they say. It's about what you know.
Okay.
So I did learn from some really great people, some older guys.
So how long had you been doing it before you felt like, okay, where you got comfortable?
I felt comfortable from jump. I was like a duck in water. I loved it. I had no idea what to expect, and the very first time I did it, I loved it.
So what are your hours like?
My hours typically are like, my phone will start ringing around 11 p.m. After 2 is always good. Between 2 and 4 a.m. is great.
So that's when people know that they fucked up, is around that time.
Well, that's when cops are after people.
Right.
That's when the cops start really looking, is, anytime after 11, You know, especially after 2 when the bars and the clubs close, then you're hot.
So your days are kind of mellow, and then it's at night where it gets crazy.
Right. So I don't have to deal with the traffic. I don't deal with the, all of that fuss and all that.
Now,
I don't like
do you
it.
have to go down there and bail them out, or how does it work?
I have to physically go to wherever you're in custody to get you out of jail. Unless you're far away, like say you went on a run or something in Oakland or something, you got in trouble, I could do that over the phone. So you wouldn't have to wait for me to physically go all the way to Oakland or San Diego or anything like that.
Cool. Speaking of runs, so another reason why I think our past process, you work a lot with bikers.
I do. They've been my bread and butter clients since day one.
So and they get in trouble a lot. So
They do. They get harassed by the man.
Yeah.
They get harassed by the man for everything, for their patches, for what they're wearing, for no rear view mirrors, for loud pipes or whatever. So there's always an opportunity to get busted when you're on a bike.
Baby girl looking so sedated. At the same time, fine meaning she's coming with me. Black label dealing, true religion, risk free. She want a rock star with big cars and big cheese.
Okay. So you promote a lot at bike events then?
Bike events, car events, any kind of art event. I have a very specific clientele where I really cater to underground artists of all different types, from dancers to graffiti artists to rappers and musicians and bikers and car club people. Just so I'm really lucky. I really like it. I like all my clients and they're good people for the most part.
Now you mentioned in the beginning of this interview that you have criminals who are professional criminals. So how does that work? Because don't their bells get higher every time they get popped?
Yes, yeah, every time they get all kinds of gang enhancements or a violation of probation, which is an additional charge. So their bail keeps going up and their chances of getting out keeps going down.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, and their attorney fees keep going up.
So what's the highest bail you ever had to handle?
$1 million.
Was that $1 million you had to put down, or was that
No, $1 million bail.
So it was
Yeah.
100 feet. Okay. Is that for like a murder case or something?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So those kind of felonies are the ones that get the bigger.
Yeah. The heinous crimes, violent crimes, always have a higher bail. But for example, I had one a friend of mine, an actual friend of mine, that was accused of a heinous crime, and I knew he didn't do it, and his bail was $1 million. And we did not bail him out because then, of course, the charges were dropped relatively soon. So he did a little bit of time, but I mean, people can be accused of anything.
And then they call you. Well, now we know how to get out of jail.
That's right.
But the most common thing is DUIs and getting popped with possession, right?
Possession. Another really common one is domestic violence.
Okay.
And it's not about a real battered situation. It's about drinking too much, getting too loud, and your neighbors being pissed. And once the cops are called, somebody's going to jail.
So what's the standard bail amount for like your typical kind of domestic violence?
Domestic violence is always $50,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So
It's always
I'm doing
$50,000.
the math. It's 5G, right?
Yeah.
What about your DUIs and that kind of stuff?
DUIs don't require bail unless it's a felony. So unless you're involved in an accident and somebody's injured, then there's no bail required on a DUI. It's just you're released on your own.
The same with possession too?
No, possession is a $20,000 bail.
Okay, wow. There's a lot of that.
A lot of that. And warrants are really expensive too. In the state of California, everything's expensive. Everything is twice as expensive as say, bail in Nevada or New York or anywhere. So my mantra for my company is don't get caught slipping.
Right.
But if you do, call me. I got you.
So you've been at it 10 years.
Yeah.
You took to it like a duck to water.
I did.
You love it.
I love it.
That's great.
I love it.
Very few people love what they do.
I know. I'm really lucky.
And you meet all people from all walks of life because everyone's getting in trouble.
Yes.
So you had your doctors and your...
I did. I bailed out a gynecologist one time.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What were they doing?
And he needed a ride home. Yeah. It was crazy.
Oh, wow. Well, there you go.
Typically, I don't give my clients rides home.
Any preachers or
No.
no preachers yet?
No.
Maybe tonight. Either night.
No, I haven't had anything like that.
Well, you might get a reverend tonight. So that's cool. Again, how do people get a hold of you?
You can Google me, Raquell, Queen of Bail Bonds, and all of my business comes up. my Instagram, my Facebook, my blog, my Tumblr, my everything.
And the odds are good if you go into any of like the bike events, like an Easy Rider show or something like that.
I had a booth at the Easy Rider show last year. It was great. I think the Easy Rider show is doing really well now.
Okay, so it's not far-fetched if someone might see you.
Oh, I'm everywhere.
Okay.
I'm everywhere.
And I know from looking at your Instagram page, you like to go to a lot of shows.
I like to go to a lot of shows. I like to play golf. I like to sponsor a lot of shows. I do a lot of art openings and skateboarding events. And
You sponsor artists and skateboarders?
as much as I can. If it's a good match, if it's a good fit, yeah, I like to do that.
All right. You have all sorts of reasons to get a hold of you.
That's right.
Get her out of jail or to sponsor something.
That's
really
right.
cool.
Or to invite me someplace fun.
Right. She likes going to shows. Raquell, thanks for coming out, being one of our first guests on Big Tim's Chopper at Clubhouse. And remember, Raquell, Queen of Bell.
Thanks for having me.